From the deepest reaches of the interwebs are two guys here to reveal the secret sauce in helping you develop multiple streams of internet cash flow. Share the knowledge without all the hype. It's the Internet Income Show.
Oh, I like that.
Now get ready for two regular dudes helping you become a smarter entrepreneur, get more out of life, and set you on the right path to becoming happily unemployable. Your host, Dr. Mike and Eric Louviere.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello again. This is Dr. Mike Lemang, your host for another edition of the Internet Income Show. Hope you're doing well. Thanks again for joining us. It's been an exciting week in the internet marketing community. And this week, I've got a special guest host, and he's been a dear friend of mine for a long period of time. If you've ever, stayed up late and watching late-night infomercials, you might have seen this gentleman crowd your television on his in one of his many infomercials that has been seen by millions of Americans. Dave Espino. His campaign has been seen on major cable networks. Has generated $140 million in sales of his information products, helping 300,000 people starting a successful eBay business. And today, Dave continues to run his info products business by marketing a wide variety of info products. And he recently began coaching speakers, professionals, and business owners to create and market their own information products. And we'll actually be chatting about a website platform that you can use to get your message across to thousands, even perhaps millions of people, and selling your information products. So, Dave Espino, are you here?
I'm here. Thanks for that great introduction, Dr. Mike. I appreciate it.
Well, yes, it's been wonderful. And as I mentioned, it's been a tumultuous week in terms of the internet marketing community. Just announced earlier this week was the sale of the Warrior Forum. And if you're an internet marketer for any long period, you know about the Warrior Forum. It's where I first got started in terms of finding people who are just like me, starting their internet business. And some of the names that have been members of the Warrior Forum is like a who's who of people who've gotten their start. I remember Russell Brunson, Mike Filsame, John Reese, Frank Kern, you name it, they've been on the Warrior Forum. And Alan Says, the mysterious man who started the Warrior Forum in 1997, sold it to Freelancer Limited, which, if you're familiar with freelancer.com, was sold there for a $3.2 million on there. And there's been this debate on, whether that was enough. That it's funny how people are now, they've got their ideas on, whether it was monetized enough or they didn't get enough. Right. But it's really kind of funny. And, we're going to talk today about information products. But I know you've gotten your start, or may have been one of your early starts on the Warrior Forum. So I just wanted to get your comments on, first, what you think of the sale, and two, do you think where do you think it goes now that it's been bought up by a freelancer?
Well, it's interesting you asked that because I kind of had mixed feelings when I heard about the sale, being that my WSO, my most recent WSO, just made WSO of the day on that forum, and I just like you, Dr. Mike, I got my start on the Warrior Forum. I was a newbie, wet behind the ears. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about internet marketing. I mean, I was on there asking questions about how to build a website, back in 1998, I believe, is when I first started there.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Man,
yeah.
People were so helpful, and they were so, there was, I remember a couple of names of people that just helped me back then, and they said, okay, here's what you do here, here's what you do with this, and then getting my ebook up somewhere to be able to sell it. I had no idea how to do that. So it was just a really helpful community back then of internet marketers that were, a little bit ahead of you, that were willing to give you a hand and pick you up and help you out. And the cool thing about that is that ebook led to the infomercial, which, led to great things. So it's been an interesting ride. Now, how I feel about the sale, I'm actually still not sure how I feel about it, because I haven't been a very active participant on the Warrior Forum. I just have these fond memories, of being helped out in the early days. And I visited occasionally because as much as many marketers may kind of, downplay the Warrior Forum or even kind of, almost kind of snicker at the Warrior Forum, I still see a lot of really advanced things coming through. Some, not all, but some of those Warrior special offers. I mean, there's some breakthroughs that come through there that I don't find anywhere else, until a little later, and then if somebody else picks up the ball, maybe a bigger marketer will pick it up and run with it. But so that's how I see the Warrior Forum. I see it as a place where occasionally, not always, but there is some innovation there. And if you're keeping your ear to the ground, you can spot new cool things that you can do in marketing. Now, as far as the sale, I don't know much about freelancer.com, so I don't know what their intentions are, but I do know that when I bumped my WSO recently back to page 1, it was $20 instead of $40. So I think they've already made the reduction in prices that they said in their press release.
Right. And I have the press release in front of me. And so for those who may be new to it, WSO stands for Warrior Special Offer, which is a place where people can actually put, their products. And it used to be, I think it was $40 to list. And they're reducing it to now $20. Freelancer owns freelancer.com, which is they're trying to compete with other freelance sites like Elance and Guru.com. I think they actually bought Scriptlance, which was an example of a rent-a-coder where you could find programmers and such. I think the reason they bought the Warrior Forum is because they have there's a certain sub-forum where you can buy and sell services on their hire a warrior type thing, or in classified advertising. So I think that's the reason why. And according to the press release, it's going to be a standalone site. It's still going to continue. It's just going to be, owned by that. So I guess it's a kind of wait and see. But as you mentioned, they had reduced the price of their listings, so that they're trying to spread the kind of goodwill on there. It always can be kind of nerve-wracking when a big company comes in. But I've seen comments all over the place. People say, well, okay, now it's going to be more legitimate. You had said, the Warrior Forum is taking a beating, and I've certainly done my share of that. I've seen people come in who give advice when they shouldn't be giving advice, that kind of thing. But, I've gotten great ideas from it. I've seen ideas, and I've turned that into products. I've known, some of my internet marketing friends who've developed, have bought products, have done really well with it. They either, they've launched products on WSOs. Entire businesses have been built with Warrior Forum. You got Mike Lance with his Warrior Special Offers. JV Zoo came as a result from that. There are people who rely on the Warrior Forum as their stream of income. So, so it's going to be really interesting. What do you think about the $3.2 million price tag on that? Was that a bargain, or what do you think?
I think Freelancer stole this. I mean, that's an incredible bargain for what it is. Now, here's the thing, though. If you look at it like, I'm a big fan of Shark Tank. So they always have to value the company at what it's doing, based on what it's doing right now. So if Warrior Forum was not performing the way most of us think it could have performed or think it should have performed, in our minds it's worth a lot more. But if the current revenue says, hey, this is worth $3.2 million or thereabouts, then hey, that's what it's worth, in today's terms. If Freelancer can come in and, figure out all these different ways to monetize it, or just even do something as simple as start more regularly communicating with the members, via email, and they can shoot that valuation through the roof. I really believe there's so much power there that hasn't been used. And part of it, I think, is, when you have a project, sometimes you just kind of run out of steam. It gets old for you, and you don't really get as excited as you used to. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but it could be that Alan got a little comfortable and at some point just decided it's time to sell, or maybe there are better reasons for it. Like somebody said, Alan wanted to put it in the hands of a company that could really take it to its full potential. So you're right; it is kind of a wait and see situation.
Right.
But it's interesting because
right.
I have this nostalgia about it. I just like the fact that it helped me get my start, and so from that aspect, there's this kind of emotional pull for the Warrior Forum. I wanted to remain, that helpful place that it was. Now I don't know if it still is the helpful place that it was, but I've seen some good stuff on there.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't often check on that. I'm a member of the War Room. I have an account there, but to be honest, I rarely check it. Some of the numbers too, if you look at it, they said there's over 732,000 registered members.
Right.
I don't think there's actually 732,000 active accounts there, active people on there, but I probably over the time, that's interesting. What my thing is, and this is why I think it's a bargain, it's ranked by Alexa in the top 250 top sites in the world. So, and number 225, and they're multiple. They base their pricing on a 3 times multiple. So they're it sounds like they're making about $1 million a year, which actually I thought that was actually low. I was surprised.
Absolutely.
All that. The amount of money generated. Just if you think about how many WSOs come every day, I thought that was low. But but for a site that gets that much traffic, I would think, heck, you could get that money back by just putting, selling ads. I would probably,
exactly.
being the capitalist, nut that I am, I'd probably just put ads all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, why not? That would be a super simple way to monetize that forum. Like, because I've been running this WSO, and we were fortunate to get WSO of the day last week, I've noticed that there are ads running and things like that, but I've also noticed that at any given point there's between 4,000 and 6,000 members on the forum, actually reading it. That's an extremely vibrant, extremely monetizable audience right there. $4,000 or $5,000 at any given, or 4,000 or 5,000 people at any given point on the forum, man. Most internet marketers would kill for that kind of audience, and not to mention let's say the 730,000 number. Let's say it's not entirely accurate, but let's say it's half that. 300 some thousand members, or even 100,000 members. There's so much. It's ironic, isn't it, Dr. Mike, that, we're internet marketers and we could think of so many ways to monetize it, and yet the founder, we don't know what happened. We don't know what the reason is for the sale, of course. So there could be many different reasons, not all of them money-based. But
right.
It's an internet marketing forum. It should be monetized a lot better.
That's true. And then there's some people that have speculate, that maybe there was, a reason for him to get out. Maybe that there was some, some people thinking some FTC pressure or, things like that. I don't want to speculate. That's only up to Alan and what Matt from Freelancer decided on. But I guess that's what makes it very, very interesting on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Well, I wanted to talk to you because as you mentioned, you did get WSO of the day. That
was so exciting.
It was an award for what they think is the most intriguing offer made for that. And I wanted to talk about the site that I've it's really been emphasizing recently, and that's this platform that you can sell information products. And I'm going to butcher the name because I never know how to pronounce it. Is it Udemy or Udemy, or I don't know how you pronounce it. You tell me. You're the expert.
You got it right. It's Udemy. And The only reason I figured it out was I had to watch some of their videos to see how they pronounce it. So, because people
Udemy?
call it. Well, Udemy, the name is basically short for the Academy of You. And Udemy is currently the world's largest online learning platform. So people go to Udemy to take courses in any variety of different topics. I mean, anything from, how to master Microsoft Excel, to how to code a website, to how to program. Those are some really tech and work-related skill type courses. But then there's everything from, salsa dancing, how to crochet. There's courses in different languages. There's probably about 8 or 9,000 courses now on this website, Udemy.com. It's spelled Udemy. And they've just gotten some really major traction. I mean, they've just taken off like a rocket. And if you look at their Alexa graph, which I have on my website, it just shoots up, And I've seen graphs like that before when eBay started taking off, So here I am again, kind of getting in early on something that looks like it's shooting up. And but the cool thing is, Udemy has worked really hard. They've done a lot of advertising and promotion all over the internet, and they retarget their prospects to get them back to their site. And the bottom line is, they have now 2 million students around the world, and growing very fast. And they're growing the number of courses, and they're growing the number of students, and they're doing a lot right. There's a few things they're doing that could be better, in my opinion, but the bottom line is, for an information marketer like you and me, it's a really great place to put up your information products. Now, instead of calling them products, we call them courses, because it's really what they are. They're primarily video-based courses that you put up. It could be as little as half an hour and as long as, I saw one course on there that's 36 hours long. And that course, by the way, the two gentlemen that created the course made $250,000 in their first 3 months on Udemy.
Oh, wow.
Selling that course. And 36-hour course. They sell for $499. And they had some success with their course offline, and then when they took it online onto Udemy, they did about $120,000 their second month, and about $130,000 or so their third month. So it's a proven vehicle for marketing your information. And the cool thing about Udemy that I like is they do a lot of the promotion for you. So if you're kind of like me, I'm more of a, I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah, because see, we can't all be all things in our business sometimes. I'm the kind of person, and I've come to realize this. I'm really primarily a teacher at heart. I love teaching stuff. I love getting concepts simplified so everyone can get it, so they can really use it and benefit from it. And I just haven't been in a position to market it the way I wanted to. And here Udemy is doing all the marketing for you. Now, you can go and do your own marketing too, and that's important because Udemy has a different split if they market your product versus if you market your product, right? So that's kind of the point, is you can go on there and create your course, and you can just let them market it and then go focus on creating more courses, or you can take a more active role in creating and marketing your course yourself. And but the cool thing is, I mean, it's passive income. I put 13 courses up there, and I didn't do very much marketing on my own. I did a little bit of cross-selling of courses, a little bit of promotion, like on YouTube, Facebook, some basic social media sites, SlideShare, things like that. And I really haven't, my goal is to hire a VA to just do the marketing part of it. I'll just give them my video on how to market the Udemy course and then just have them do that. But it's growing fast. It's incredibly strong. They've got a big staff, and they're for real. I mean, they're here to stay. So, for information product marketers, I think it's kind of the new gem. If we were to compare Udemy to the Warrior Forum, on the Warrior Forum, prices have been, dropped down so much to where now most Warrior special offers are like $7 or $17, right? But on Udemy, perceived value is so much higher because now you're on a professional website that offers courses for all different types of topics. The perceived value allows you to get $47 for the product you might have gotten $7 for on the Warrior Forum. And it really is that significant of a difference. I've got a product that I sell for $97 on Udemy that I probably might get $17 for on the Warrior Forum, simply because of the perception of value with this highly professional, semi-corporate looking website that has positioned itself in just a slightly different way, One's like make money, get rich, internet marketing, that's a Warrior Forum. This one's more like online learning, we're the education of the future, that kind of thing. And just that simple positioning has changed it so that people are willing to spend more, on the Udemy site versus other sites. I literally have the same product on the Warrior Forum and on Udemy, and I'm getting, maybe $17 on the Warrior Forum and $47 on Udemy. And by the way, the product on Udemy sells a lot more than on the Warrior Forum.
Wow.
So it's interesting. Yeah, the perception of value is so much different when you put your same information product, move it over to Udemy, and more people buy it because, they're not the jaded internet marketer types. They're there to learn. They want to learn this stuff, and they want to get value. And as long as you create a solid course and do some other little background things that I teach, they will get value, and they will, refer and start recommending your course to other people. So it's an exciting site. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, so just looking at the Udemy site, it looks like something you would see out of an online school. Look at the categories. You got technology, business, design. Just looking at some of the categories, chemistry courses, anatomy for figure drawing. You got your make money online. It comes on in there, but it's very professional, as you say, and it's building their brand, so it's attracting people who are interested in just more learning, language. You got JavaScript, and so what is the kind of percentage that someone goes in there? What's their cut? What do you get?
Well, Udemy has an interesting structure. They say basically if they're responsible for bringing the student, they get 50%, you get 50%. And I just look at that as like a straight affiliate commission. They're going to go do all this marketing, they're going to do all this advertising all over the place. And if they're responsible for the lead or the student, it's a 50-50 split. Pretty standard, right, in info product world. And then if you bring the student, I believe the split is something like 97. You get 97% because they take out their little, their credit card fee or whatever, processing fee or whatnot. So pretty much, you're at 100% minus whatever the little processing fee is. So it really makes sense to be promoting your own products. The only reason I haven't promoted mine is I focused on building 13 courses within the span of a couple of months. And because my initial goal was to create 25 courses, and it's still my goal. So I'm a little over halfway to that goal. And then an interesting dynamic happens when you have that many courses on one site. It's almost like eBay. When you have a lot of similar products on one site, you can start to cross-sell and cross-promote your other courses within your own little student universe. I have like 2,600 students, so when I create a new course or publish a new course there, I can tell all those 2,600 other students, hey, go check out my new course, and by the way, here's a discount coupon since you're a preferred student or whatever. So you're kind of building your own little, web of student base that you can communicate with, that you can send promotional coupons to, and that sort of thing. But yeah, as you can see, it's a much It's a much more professional site. It's very credible looking. And then they have reviews, which you want to work really hard to get reviews right away on your course because that builds social proof. They have students can leave reviews, and then they also see how many students are in the course. So when I teach people, how to publish their courses on Udemy, one of the first things I say is you've got to get reviews and you've got to get a large number of people into your course as soon as possible. And so I show them ways to do that.
Now, when you mean by course, that has a lot of different meanings. These are all recorded. Is this
right?
Is this done through PowerPoint or is it a talking head video? What do you mean by course?
Yeah, the Udemy course is primarily video. They want 60% of the course to be video, and that, if we pull back a little bit, that brings us back to the fact that they do have standards for course creation. So one of the standards is it must be at least half an hour long or longer. Another standard is it must be 60% video or 60% or more video content. And then there's quite a few other standards that, Dr. Mike, I got to be honest, I figured out a way to kind of streamline my way through those standards to get the course published quickly. The first thing I did when I went into Udemy was, let me just go run a test, course. Let me put something up there really quick. And I put up one of my courses that was very complete. It had video, it had a PDF, ebook, and it had audio version. So I'm like, hey, this is a nice multimedia course. Let me put this up there. And it got rejected. And that's when I was basically taking the ready, fire, aim approach.
Sure.
I was like, let me just put something up and see what happens. So I got some feedback right away, and they said, well, here's our course guidelines. Here's what you need to do. So through that process of that first course, I asked tons of questions. I figured out what the quickest, easiest, most streamlined way was to get a course put up there and published. And from that point on, the other 12 courses were a breeze. They all got, accepted right away. There was no snags, no issues, because I figured, man, the quicker I get the course published, the quicker I start making money, because Udemy's doing the marketing. So let me just get stuff up there. And not to say it's not poor quality. I always pride myself on high quality, teaching and stuff like that. So anyway, back to your question about the course. Most Udemy courses are going to be at least 60% video. They also like you to have like a PDF in there or some kind of a document, downloadable document. So all I do is I'll take the PowerPoint of my presentation that I recorded, and I'll whittle it down to the main points and save it as a PDF, and I upload that as kind of a little extra supplement, So as long as you have, let's say, some PowerPoint videos and a PDF of some type, maybe some helpful resources or helpful tips or helpful websites or whatever, and you meet the rest of the guidelines, you've got a course. Now some people, for some people's courses, they're going to want live action video because maybe they're teaching, like dance lessons or something like that, which you wouldn't be able to teach very well with a PowerPoint. So in those cases, yeah, you're going to want live video, and the video's got to be a certain quality, and there are certain guidelines for that. But all I've done with most of my courses is just create a PowerPoint, record my voiceover over the PowerPoint, and save it as a video and upload it, and that's it. It's very, very simple to do from that angle. And if somebody doesn't have content, like maybe they feel like, oh, I don't know if I could create a course, they could take an existing, like a private label rights ebook, and just take the main paragraphs and put those into a PowerPoint. Add some images and narrate that, teach it, and now they've got a course. I've got 2 of my courses are private label rights products that I repurposed and turned into new courses. So, and then there's one other way of monetizing it, and that's let's say you're not an expert and you don't want to do the private label rights version. You can team up with an expert. You create the course for them, get it all published. Maybe they do the presentation of the course, And within the back office of Udemy, you can share that course as a co-instructor and get whatever percent you negotiate with that expert. So in effect, you could become a Udemy publisher. It's basically the publisher model. By you knowing your way around Udemy and you being able to streamline the process for that, quote, expert, you're basically partnering up with that expert. And let's say you guys decide to split 50-50, they can, for every course sale that happens, you each split the course 50-50. So there's a lot of different ways to monetize Udemy, and you don't have to actually be an expert, per se, to publish courses there. So it's a pretty cool way because
that's a great way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a proven model in all the other forms of business, in magazines and on the internet, and you can also do it here. So that's pretty much what a course involves on Udemy.
Well, this is awesome, Dave. And you have a course, speaking of courses, you've got a course that kind of cracks the code on Udemy. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I got to say, Dr. Mike, I'm really proud of this because what I did was I did 3 webinars, roughly an hour and a half each webinar for my own personal list. And in those 3 webinars, I literally went through, the first webinar was a full foundational course on Udemy, why it's so big, why it's growing, why it's going to go crazy, why even the mega trends, the larger trends are saying that these MOOCs, massive open online courses, which is what Udemy falls under, are going through the roof while university and college enrollment is shrinking and declining. So people are starting to look to real-world solutions for their education and training, and they're going online. And where they're going to go, where they're going to end up is Udemy. There are a few other MOOCs out there, but Udemy has taken the initial, reins, and they've grabbed the lion's share of the market right away, which is great. So my first webinar was all about the foundational aspects and why it's so good and how it works and all the basics of that. The second webinar actually walked you through, step by step, how to create your course in the most streamlined way possible, the way that people can just get their course published literally within a couple of days. I even go into how to create the course. So from start to finish, how to create the course, how to get it published, some of the snags that you might run into along the way and how to avoid them. And bottom line is getting you up to speed and making money as soon as possible. And then when I was doing that second webinar, I came to the realization, I'm not going to have enough time in this webinar to teach them about how to market the course. Creative ways to market the course that you set up these web properties online. They're not websites, but they're different web properties. And from that point on, they'll drive traffic to your course. So on that second webinar, I announced we're going to do a third webinar. I'm going to get into details on how to market. So in the third webinar, recording, because now we recorded these webinars and now they're available as a full-blown product, I showed 10 ways to market and promote the course in such a way that these marketing and advertising properties, shall we say, stay live on the internet and keep driving traffic to your course. And if you wanted to, you could just keep adding more and more of the same and driving more and more traffic. And the whole goal is really to build a 6-figure residual income that comes in no matter what you do. So that's the course, and it's available, ironically, on the Warrior Forum. And that's the one that became...
We'll give a link. We are going to put a link to that, and you can get
Absolutely.
it at InternetIncomeShow.com/Udemy, lowercase UDEMY, and it is a bargain, guys. Was it 4.5 hours of content?
4.5 hours of content, all about Udemy. A lot of it is marketing based, about how to market your course and things like that. And it's just the kind of reviews I've gotten already, the kind of feedback I've gotten has been through the roof. I mean, people are so excited about this course. They get Some of them already had an idea for a course that they wanted to publish on Udemy, but they didn't know how. Some people had tried to publish a course, got rejected because they didn't know my streamlined method. Other people hadn't even thought about publishing a course, but they got so excited by seeing the step-by-step process that I teach that now they're going to publish a course. So it's full-blown. I mean, this is, easily this is a $97 course all day long, but we've got a very special deal for Dr. Mike and his listeners. And what I want to do also, and I know Dr. Mike doesn't know about this, what I'd like to do is add a bonus Q&A webinar for any of Dr. Mike's listeners that decide to take this offer and go to, what was the website, Dr. Mike?
Just go to InternetIncomeShow.com/Udemy, and that'll link that up, and we can track that.
Okay, InternetIncomeShow.com/Udemy. I'll do a special Q&A webinar for anyone that purchases through that page, and we'll be able to really get into the nuts and bolts and really get into some details, because there's a lot of things I've learned over 13 courses. I don't know if very many people have published that many on Udemy yet, but I'm sorry?
Yeah, I don't even think I've gone through 13 courses in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's been quite an adventure, and man, I just I jumped in because whenever I see something that good and that exciting, and with the growth curve going that vertical, Dr. Mike, I like vertical skateboarding, right? Well, I also like vertical growth curves. Yeah. When I see something go that vertical on an Alexa chart or on a Google Trends chart, it pricks up my ears. I get very interested and very excited, and I went all in, and I'm still creating courses and, still going towards that goal of 25 courses. So,
because it's complete passive income, and that's what we preach here. You do it once, but you get paid, forever. That's the way to do it.
Exactly. I mean, Udemy sends me a PayPal payment every month, in the first week of each month, and it just comes in. And the goal, and I'll get there very, very soon, is 6 figures coming in no matter what happens. And obviously, you and I, Dr. Mike, we have other businesses and things like that, other forms of income. But man, wouldn't it be nice, to anyone out there to have the 6-figure income coming in, whether you work or not, whether you play or not, whatever you do, just have your basic needs taken care of, and that's really the dream, I think, of Internet marketing. And I honestly believe Udemy captures that dream better than just about any other website out there, any other standalone website. With every other info product thing that you do, you've got to work hard at promoting it and marketing it, buying traffic or SEO or whatever, right? But with Udemy, you do what you do best. You go create and publish and teach, and they'll do what they do best. They'll go and drive traffic and retarget and all that stuff. So it's a match made in heaven, really.
Well, this is awesome stuff. Dave, always a pleasure. Keep doing what you're doing. Then once you get out to InternetIncomeShow.com/Udemy, and again, if you sign up, which is it's super cheap, the amount of content, and then knowing that Dave, it's always quality. He loves to teach, so you're definitely going to get 100 times your money's worth on that, and he'll also offer that special bonus Q&A. So thanks, Dave. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mike.
Really appreciate sharing that information. And again, thanks for everybody for listening to us. If you like us, just like us on iTunes, send a comment, give us a call on our voicemail at InternetIncomeShow.com. We're always happy to take your questions, and if we like it, we'll ask them live on air. And as always, keep moving forward.
You just listened to the Internet Income Show with Dr. Mike and Eric. Now, get to work.